In this Excel video, I will teach you Excel power shortcuts for entering data. This is going to be fun. Let's get started. And Excel works best when you keep your hands on the keyboard. And so that's the goal of these Excel power shortcuts, to help you keep your hands on the keyboard so you can work efficiently. Here's the workbook we're going to be using. You can get a link to it in the description below the video. And in this video, I'm going to share 11 different power shortcuts for entering data. And our first shortcut is enter and move to previous cell. As you may already know, when working in Excel, as we type data in a cell, if we tap enter, generally speaking, Excel moves down and selects the cell immediately below where we were working. Now, there are times when entering data and you tap enter and it doesn't move down, it moves down and to the left. But our first power shortcut is not enter to move down, it's shift enter to move up. So let's say I need to put in Clifford Miller's department that he's a part of. He's in the marketing department. So I type that, but then I realize, okay, I also need to put in Jefferson Garcia's department. I can enter this text that I've typed and move up by holding the shift key and tapping enter. And now I can put in Jefferson's department. Our second Excel power shortcut is enter and move left. Similar to the previous shortcut, in addition to tapping enter to move down, we can tab to the right. So let's say I type in the building that Jefferson works in. It's the Smith building. I can tap tab to enter that information and move to the right. So that's pretty typical. Most people know that. But if you hold shift and tap tab, it enters the data and moves to the left and selects the cell immediately to the left of the selected cell. Power shortcut number 3 is insert current date. Here in cell I1, I've clicked and I'm going to type updated date. I'll tab over to the right, updated time, and then I'll click and drag to highlight columns I and J, and I'll double click between those two, and now they're perfectly spaced to fit the data. And let's say I would like to keep information about when the spreadsheet has been updated. So I'll click here on I2. I'll hold the control key and tap semicolon. And whatever the current date is entered directly into that cell. Power shortcut number 4 is insert current time. And I'm going to tab over to get onto cell J2. We insert the current time by holding the control key, holding the shift key, and tapping semicolon. And whatever the current time is will be entered into the cell. Now I know the exact date and time when this spreadsheet was updated. Power shortcut number 5 is copy formula from cell above. And I need to create some space for this power shortcut. So here I am in column I, and I'm going to hold the control key and tap spacebar to select the current column. And then I'll hold control, hold shift, and tap the plus sign on the keyboard, and that gives me a new column. I'm going to call this yearly salary, and I'll tap enter on the keyboard. And now I'm going to just put in a simple formula. Equals H2, so cell H2, multiplied by, so I'll put in an asterisk for multiply, 12. I'll tap enter, and there is Julia's annual salary. Now by entering that, I move down to cell I3. And this is where our power shortcut comes in. Copy formula from cell above. I just want to copy this formula and put it here in I3. To do this, you simply hold control and tap apostrophe or single quote. Not the regular quotation mark, but a single quote, or I like to think of it as apostrophe. So I hold control and tap that, and the above formula has been copied down to the current cell. Now look what happens though when I tap enter. You can see what it did. It literally just copied the exact formula from above and pasted it below. There are times when this is very helpful. In this case, it's not so helpful, and you can see why. It didn't adjust the formula for the current row. I really don't want Julia's yearly salary listed in James' record, but that's what this shortcut produced. It simply copied the above formula. So in this case, there's a different, more appropriate power shortcut to use. So using the arrow keys, I'm going up to cell I3. I'll tap delete on the keyboard, And I'm going to use power shortcut number 6, fill down from cell above. And the shortcut combination is Control D. When you perform a fill down from cell above, it looks at the formula or whatever is in the above cell, and then it extends it down similar to the way the fill handle works. And so the formula gets adjusted for the next record. Here it was H2 multiplied by 12. Here it's H3 multiplied by 12. And I could tap enter and do Control D again to fill down from the above cell. Next we have power shortcut number 7, fill right. This is a similar shortcut to fill down, but to perform a fill right, go to the cell where you want the results entered, hold Control and tap R for right. And whatever formula is just to the left gets filled to the right, but with the cell reference adjusting by 1. So let's look at this. In cell I4, I have this number multiplied by 12, and that's what's put in here. So by filling that to the right, Excel takes the results of that previous formula and multiplies it again by 12. So it took the information here, adjusted the formula by 1 column in this case, and still multiplied it by 12. Power shortcut number 8 is copy value from the cell above. Another way to think of this is copy the results of a formula from the cell above. So here we have a formula that produces the number 288,000. If I tap enter on the keyboard to move below that formula that produces 288,000, I can copy value from cell above. In other words, the results of the formula, not the formula itself. To perform this shortcut, I hold Control, hold Shift, and tap apostrophe or single quote, tap enter, and let's look at what happened. It copied down the cell above, but instead of copying the formula down, it copied the results of the formula down. This may be a subtle difference, but there are many cases in which this is what you want to do. It's time now for one of my favorite power shortcuts, shortcut number 9, which is flash fill. And for this, I'm going to use the arrow keys to get over to the left side of my data. And I'm going to go to column D. I'll hold Control and tap spacebar to highlight the entire column. And then I'll hold Control, hold Shift, and tap the plus sign to give me a new column between those two existing columns. And using the arrow keys, I'll go up to D1 and I'll type full name. So even though I like having first name and last name split out, it is nice also to sometimes just have the full name listed as you would normally say it. So I'll just type in Julia Smith in column D. I'll tap enter. If I want to, I could do a second example, James Johnson, tap enter. But now I'm going to use the flash fill keyboard shortcut. I'll hold Control and tap E, and look what happens. All of the rest of the data, all the way down to the very bottom of my data, is automatically entered by Excel. Flash fill is a fabulous tool that looks at a pattern that I've established. In this case, I took the contents of column B, combined it with the contents of column C, and I did that twice, probably not necessary. I think once would have been sufficient. But then by using the flash fill keyboard shortcut of Control E, Excel figured out the pattern of what I was doing and applied it all the way down the spreadsheet data. If you want to learn more about flash fill in Excel, watch my other videos on this topic. It's a very powerful tool. You should be using it if you're not already. Power shortcut number 10 is stay in the same cell when entering data in a cell. So for example, let's say I use the arrow keys to get up here to operations, and I change it to operation team, and I want to enter this data but still stay on the same cell. I don't want it to move down. I don't want it to move up or left or right. I just want to enter it and stay on cell E6. To do this, I can hold the Control key and tap enter. The data is entered. There's no flashing cursor, but I'm still on cell E6. This particular power shortcut may not be useful as often as the others, but there are definitely times when it's helpful to just get the data entered without moving the selected cell. Okay, it's time for our final power shortcut for entering data in Excel, and that is Open Dropdown List. If you're working in a spreadsheet that has data validation dropdown lists, like this one, where you can click on a cell, click this button and then select from a data validation list. In other words, a list of text, a list of numbers, or other data that you want people to be able to select so that they spell correctly, so that there's some uniformity in the information that's put into a particular column. So these data validation drop-down lists can be very helpful and useful in Excel. The problem is I have to use the mouse, and the whole point of Power Shortcuts is to not use the mouse, but just use the keyboard. So Power Shortcut number 11 will help us to do so. I'm going to tab over to F2, so I'm on that cell, and to open the drop-down list, all I have to do is hold Alt and tap the down arrow on the keyboard. Now I have opened the drop-down list, and I can use the arrow keys to select the data that I want to enter into the cell, then just tap Enter on the keyboard, and it's done. So these have been 11 Power Shortcuts for entering data into Excel. I promise you, if you learn these shortcuts and make them a part of your daily Excel work, you will not regret it, and your efficiency in Excel will improve dramatically. If you want to learn more about Flash Fill or also the data validation drop-down lists and how to create them, please watch my other videos on those topics. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please like, follow, and subscribe. And when you do, click the bell and you'll be notified when I post another video. If you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is to become a channel member, but you could also click the thanks button below the video. You could support me through my Patreon account or by buying channel merch, and you'll see information about those options in the description below the video. And perhaps one of the best ways to support the channel is just to share this video with others who you think could benefit from it. By sharing this with your family, friends, and coworkers, you're going to be helping them to learn more about Excel, and you're going to help me keep this channel alive and thriving.